Hello viewers, 4DIYers here with another tutorial video for everyone. In this particular video here, I'll be showing you how to remove the rear bumper on a first generation Toyota Tacoma. This procedure may also apply to other Toyota truck models. I'm working with a 2001, and as a bit of a bonus, this truck is getting a bumper upgrade. As you can see, the old factory bumper is rotten in the center, so I have made a custom tube bumper instead. I'll touch base on the hitch removal too. You may be required to elevate the rear depending if you have a 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive truck. This is a 4-wheel drive model, so there's plenty of room to get under the truck. I've already went ahead and removed the license plate. Next is disconnecting the license plate lights. You can most likely reach around and twist the lights out, however they're only held in with 2 phillips screws on each. Remove the light assembly and then twist the lights out of the rear. There will be 4 bolts in total, which holds on the bumper brackets to the frame. This is my preferred route to remove the bumper. However, you can disconnect the bumper at the bumper brackets, and I'll show you this further on in the video. The hitch doesn't allow for easy access to those bumper bolts, so the frame connection is much easier. Right at the back of the frame there is rust, which I'll be cleaning up too when the bumper and hitch are off. I'm trying to get this ready for winter so it is protected. The rear bolts are seized, so I did use a torch to heat them up. When using a torch, be extremely careful around the rear light harness that runs on top of the frame rail on the driver's side. The bolts furthest away from the bumper goes into a welded nut on the frame. These only need to be backed out about a ½ inch at the very most, as they do fit into a open slotted hole on the brackets. The bolts closest to the bumper use a nut, and this will need to be held and removed completely. All the bolts and nuts are 20mm. A view on the inside of the frame when removing. Leave the closest bolts on the bumper in place until you're fully ready to remove the bumper, otherwise it will flip down on you. I left the receiver on the hitch so the bumper does have somewhere to sit. Pull the bumper out slowly. Some of the trailer wiring was zip tied in place and tangled up, so that does need to be disconnected as well. Then pull off the bumper. It's not overly heavy, so it's manageable by myself. As for the bolts on the inside of the bumper holding on the brackets, these go into welded nuts on the bracket and are 20mm as well. I used a torch here as they were badly seized. These brackets will be reused on the new bumper, however they will be cut down, so I just cut off the old bolts instead using a torch. And a view once the bumper is disassembled. For the hitch, I purchased new bolts as it wasn't worth trying to salvage the old hardware. The fasteners closest to the bumper are carriage bolts going into L brackets that fit in the channel of the frame. The bolts furthest away, closer to the axle, go into a welded nut inside the cross member. The heads of the bolts were too far gone, and the room was quite limited for larger tools. The heads were washed away using a torch, and then I welded on nuts and removed the bolts by hand with a bit of patience. To maneuver the hitch out, the driver's side needs to be pushed forward. Then lower it past the leaf spring, slide it over, and then remove it on the exhaust side. As for my custom bumper, this will be a rough overview, and a full fabrication video will be on my metalworking channel. I used 3/16 thick 2x6 tubing as a base. Made the necessary cuts for my design. Made a license plate area. Welded everything together. Fitted the factory brackets and welded them in place. The rear frame was cleaned up and treated while everything was apart. The bumper was prepped for paint, and I applied a box liner spray for a textured, durable finish. Installed generic LED lights for the license plate so there wouldn't be any issues with local regulations. The factory wiring was cut up and had weatherproof connectors installed. The factory torque specifications for the 20mm bolts is 59 foot-pounds or 80 Nm. While it doesn't have a hitch at the moment, the other hitch will be getting remounted, but I will be waiting to paint it. And just a quick peek at the new bumper. If you want to check out my fabrication video for this bumper, I do have a link for the video in the description below. New videos released every week on my channel. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It's a huge help to me, and leave a comment below if you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to follow my social media pages such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date with my latest projects. And if you're not a subscriber, be sure to also hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.